Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nivada Grenchen Super Antarctic. The Super Antarctic is the latest in a growing series of fixed bezel sports watches in the industry, but also another great addition to Nivada's current catalog as they reach back into their extensive history of tool watches. This watch fits perfectly into the affordable explorer-style watch segment that is becoming more popular by the day, and in the case of the Super Antarctic, for good reason. The Super Antarctic comes in at 38mm wide, 45mm lug to lug, and just around 10mm wrist to crystal. These dimensions look good on paper and on the wrist. The short lug to lug combined with the unique chamfer on the inside of the lugs gives the Super Antarctic a comfortable fit and the perfect amount of wrist presence. The watch is almost all dial, so there's plenty of room for that dial to breathe in the 38mm case. This creates the wrist presence without any unnecessary chunk. The applied markers and hands contrast perfectly against the matte black dial, giving the watch tons of legibility. I especially like the lollipop hour hand as opposed to a Mercedes hand. It's stylized without feeling like an homage to anything except itself. While we're on the subject, it should be noted that the Super Antarctic is not an homage to a Rolex Explorer. This watch has its roots in the American Navy, specifically Antarctic exploration, hence the name. If you want a watch like the Seiko Alpinist with a real heritage in exploration and discovery, the Super Antarctic will fit the bill. Back to the dial. While the dial could be categorized as simple, it is well executed in that simplicity. The triangle markers at the cardinal positions aid in orientation, and the hands are big and filled with enough lume to allow you to read the time quickly. While I am not the biggest fan of aged lume on this model, Nivada is doing something I wish every other watch manufacturer would do: offer the same watch with different lume colors. Watches didn't have aged lume when they were new, and while it can sometimes be a design choice, I have to tip my hat to Nivada for giving the buyer the option. The Super Antarctic can be had in aged, white, or green lume. Regardless of the color you choose, it is applied well and lights up brightly. They made good use of all that real estate on the hands and markers. The polished bezel is the perfect choice for this type of watch, and the level of finishing is consistent across the entire case. The star of the show is the lug design. The lugs have a large chamfer on the inside, which makes them resemble something like vampire teeth. They have an effect that makes the lug seem ultra thin, while still being 20mm wide for the strap. A design like this is a perfect way to separate yourself from the pack of fixed bezel sports watches. It seems obvious, but the idea doesn't seem to be occurring to many other brands. The Super Antarctic is a watch I've wanted to check out since I heard it was being reissued. Not only is it a faithful recreation of the original from the 1950s, but it didn't disappoint me either. Everything from the finishing to the dial execution is spot on. I would only change one thing on the Super Antarctic, and that would be the crown size. I feel it is a little small and difficult to operate in some situations, but it would hardly keep me away from purchasing this watch. If Nivada can find a way to keep digging into their past and launching watches as good as this, I have no doubt that we won't see another hiatus from the brand. If you wanted to see what all the hype is about with Nivada back on the market, the Super Antarctic is the perfect place to start. Thanks for checking out the video review of the Nivada Grenchen Super Antarctic. If you want to see more reviews, check out our channel or head over to watchclicker.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.